Hey Gemini, what's up gang? Hope everybody is well. I wanted to do a special what is changing in the new year for you, okay? So if that's something that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That's gonna have all the information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe, so go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, so let's go ahead and just jump right into this. I want to do something special. I know that we're still a couple months off from the new year, and I don't want to rush things. I don't like to rush through life, but I wanted something like for us to look forward to and like a predictive type of reading, okay? So let's see what changes are taking place. Now, for your intuitive message, we pulled the sun, and they instantly started making me think of the Chinese astrology, the Chinese zodiac, which I'm not super familiar with. I know that I'm like year of the tiger, and that's about as far as it goes. And I know that this was the year of the snake, 2025, and going into 2026 is year of the horse. And so I did really quickly like look it up just to see, and apparently it's going to be a very dynamic period. There's going to be a lot of fast movement, a lot of changes, but changes that are going to be very positive, like bringing in a lot of abundance. I didn't look and see what year 2025, year of the snake, was going to mean, but I'm intuitively kind of picking up that with snakes, I get a lot of, shedding skin and transformation taking place on an inner level, right? Maybe evolving or doing a lot of healing work. This is intuitively how the year has been for me personally, so I'm going to assume that it's like that for a lot of you guys as well. 2025 has just been a year of going and doing deep dives and really, healing a lot of stuff that needed to heal on the inside. Also, I find that 2025 has been something where a lot of potential has come up to the surface. Things that maybe we weren't aware of showing their faces, so that way we could really start to kind of make something positive or more grounded out of this in the years to come. So there's something here with the transformation that's going to be taking place. Now, the sun talks about Leo energy, of course, so it's confidence, it's being magnetic, powerful, happiness, joy, healing. And the sun makes me feel like there's also a freedom that's going to be happening. This is a big change taking place. So if you've been feeling very restricted, maybe constricted, right, with the snake energy, maybe feeling like you can't make a lot of the choices that you want to make, or there's certain things that are binding you, maybe it's jobs, relationships, environments, illnesses, whatever. It's feeling like there's freedom that's going to be taking place. This is one of the changes that's going to happen in this new year, is you're going to have more freedom to move and to expand and to grow, okay? You could also be in the new year, a change that could be happening is you could be learning something new. I'm just thinking about the horse energy. It makes me think of Sagittarius, which is the sage. So there's a lot of wisdom coming through. There's a lot of knowledge. Sagittarius energy is very expansive in their wisdom. They like to learn about different things, different cultures, different philosophies. And so there could be a shift that's taking place with how you're viewing the world or how you're viewing certain situations. So of course, since our perception is the lens through which we view our entire lives, if your perception is changing, your view of things are changing, which means your life is changing. Okay, so there could be something life-changing that is going to be taking place here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get an animal message. I wasn't really going to, but actually I feel like we should. So let's go ahead and dig one out. First let's get some numbers though. As you can tell, I don't really have a huge plan for this. So let's get some numbers for Gemini gang, numbers that could be significant now, or they could be showing up as confirming messages. We have number 3, lots of manifestation coming through and creation. We have 20. We have 11, a very popular number. It doesn't surprise me though, because 11 is my number for spirit, so makes sense. We get 11 a lot. And then we have, what is this? Is this a 9? Yes, a 9. Okay, so those are the numbers. Let's go ahead and get you guys an animal. What changes are taking place in the new year for Gemini gang spirit? What changes are taking place? I'm seeing twins. Maybe some of you guys are going to have kids. You're going to have twins. That's for somebody. What changes are taking place in the new year, please? In the new year for Gemini gang, what changes are taking place? That is too many, but this one popped first, so I'm going to take it. It's the whale. We have the otter on the bottom of the deck. 2 cards talking about water. Interesting. Well, maybe we're coming up from the depth, right? When I look at this whale card, I see this whale coming up from the darkness, you know, being submerged, and the whale can go a lot deeper than a lot of the other animals can go. So maybe you're able to go deeper, whether this is into your feelings, whether this is into your thoughts, maybe with your spirituality, but you've gone deeper than a lot of other people around you, Gemini, and maybe it's been to the point where it's so deep now that it's kind of heavy. It's almost stifling or suffocating. And so, you know, even the whale has to come up to the surface to breathe in some air. And it's interesting because as the whale ascends to the surface, we do see this yellow energy that's coming through, talking about like obviously the sun shining. So that could be something here. Maybe you're coming out of a dark place and this change is bringing you up to the surface where you're going to feel a lot more warmth, or you're going to feel like you can breathe easier. In fact, the otter talks about a lot of happiness. You know, it talks about joy and being playful and just enjoying life, maybe meeting new people, maybe making new friends, or involving yourself in relationships that are really fun, you know, having adventures and playing. And otters are super sweet. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures or videos of them when they fall asleep and they're holding hands so they don't drift apart. Like, that is the cutest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life, except for when like the moms take the little otter babies and they put them on their tummy and then they sleep that way. It's just, otters are super cute, you know? So maybe you're going to be super cute in the new year. Maybe that's something that's changing. Maybe you're going to stop being so heavy. I'm not calling you out. I say that with love. I'm just saying maybe there's something where you're going to be lightening up a little bit, or you're going to be allowing yourself to play a little bit in the new year. All right, so let's see the whale. Let me get to the water element. All right, oh, there's the otter. Where is the whale? I'm like, intuitively, I feel like it's towards the back, but I'm still going to the front because that's how I be sometimes. Let's see what we got here. Probably going to be like one of the last ones. Really need to start listening to my intuition. Okay, we have the whale. It says, desire to delve deeper, profound peace, and an ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them and given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost, and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hours. When in balance, calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy and slips into old stories, quote unquote. To bring into balance, regular self-care. Interesting, Gemini. It's funny how it says that the whale represents profound emotional health and stability, because whales have the biggest hearts in the animal kingdom, like literally. So there could be something here where you just have a big heart and maybe you're allowing this to be expressed more or shown more, right? I also feel like an old soul here. You know, it says ancient wisdom, and I feel like, Gemini, you are an old soul. There's something where you've went through so many experiences in your life and also past lives that you have this depth to you that not a lot of people have. And maybe what's changing in the new year is you're accepting this for some of you guys, acknowledging it for others of you, and maybe for some of you allowing it to be shown a little bit more, because some of you have always had this depth, but you kind of keep it hidden. You know, it's like something like a secret treasure or something that's just for you or just for people that are close to you, but perhaps you're going to start showing this to everybody. And I also love that this card talks about having emotional stability and health and being able to go deep into your emotions, and this being looked at as a strength, because it is strong. You are strong to be able to show your emotions, to accept your emotions, feel your emotions, right? So there is something here with that. I feel like you're going to be feeling a little bit more calm, a little bit more steady within yourself or within your emotional experiences that you've been having, or that you will have in the new year. Perhaps this snake energy from 2025 has caused you to shed enough skins to where you're feeling more comfortable in your emotions. Some of you guys could have had that heart awakening that I talk about sometimes, where they always show me like a calcified heart with like cracks in it and there's light coming through, and spirit sometimes will come in and bust that heart wide open. And usually it happens through some kind of pain or heartbreak or something like that, where you're very raw and you're feeling everything and you're like, oh God, you know, I've obviously been avoiding my emotions, okay? That's why it's calcified, because I haven't been allowing my emotions to come through. So when spirit comes through and like, you know, bust it open, it's like, now I feel everything. And there can be a really scary and, you know, raw and intense period after that happens where you're feeling everything. But soon, if you don't close it, if you can have the strength and the courage to keep it open and let everything calibrate out, it's like you can start to feel more secure within your emotions. And I get that energy strongly. We also have compassion and communication coming through. Some of you guys could step into your purpose, and maybe your purpose is to speak to people, to help people, to mentor people, to be a light, a beacon for others. It says a beacon in our darkest hour. It's giving lighthouse energy. So some of you guys, yeah, your light is going to be turning on full blast here in this next year. And this is a change because, again, I feel like some of you have been down in this darkness, in this depth, okay? But this was, needed. This time in your life where you were in the darkness, or you were, allowing the skins to shed, it was actually something that was needed, okay? It was very medicinal or whatnot. Okay, so I'm changing things up a little bit based off of the cards that have come out so far. I'm actually going to pull a lot of Oracle versus tarot. But if we need to clarify anything, we have a tarot deck on standby just in case. But I think that's what we need to do. Let's just pull a whole crap ton of Oracle and see what happens. I'm going to pull from this deck, which is the Gods, Goddesses, and Angels and deck, because it tends to touch on the deeper heart level stuff, which is what I feel like is coming through with the well. So what's changing for Gemini gang in this new year, please? Whoa, hold on a second. So we have the God of Conflict Resolution. You are being encouraged to walk away from a current conflict. Interesting. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the God of Indulgence. It's all right. Stop beating yourself up. A little indulgence and balance is healthy. It's interesting because I'm not necessarily getting like a conflict where you're combative with other people. I mean, for some of you guys, yes. But it feels more like an inner conflict. And whatever this inner conflict was, it could have caused you to be combative with other people, But it feels like for most of you, this is something that you've been battling on the inside. Because there's an element of guilt or shame that's coming through on the bottom of the deck. And so it's making me feel like whatever this is that you've been battling, Spirit is saying it's okay. Maybe some of you guys, this is addictions, or this is bad habits, negative mindsets, maybe continuing to be in these cycles that that you need to remove yourself from. But whatever this is that you've been battling, you're being encouraged to walk away from this. So this is what's changing in the new year. You're going to be in less conflict within yourself, and yes, possibly within other situations. Like if the inner conflict that was happening on the inside has manifested to conflict on the outside with other people, then of course we know we have to straighten out what's going on the inside first, and then we'll start seeing these changes on the outside. Just basically based off of how we move, the different choices that we make, what we're willing to entertain and indulge in. These things change when we change inside, right? So I feel like this is what's happening for some of you guys. What's changing in the new year is that you're not going to be in such a conflicted state anymore. And Spirit's saying there's no need to feel guilty, or there's no need to feel shame or embarrassment over the fact that you were conflicted, right? Or that you did have addictions, or you did have things going on with you. We're all human. We all have these issues, I don't think there's not one person listening right now to this reading that has not battled some kind of addiction, some kind of negative mindset, some kind of dark night of the soul, something that we're not proud of. Everybody has these shadow elements. That's why shadow work is so significant and important. And I feel like with this well, that's possibly what you've been going through. But this is what's changing. You're coming out of this conflictive state, okay? Let's get another one. We're probably only going to get two with this deck. Let's get one more for what's changing in this new year. We have the God of Justice, Libra energy coming through. What seems an injustice is actually a blessing. So in the new year, we're going to find out why. Okay, that's a change that's coming through here. In the new year, we're going to find out why something happened, why something had to take place the way it took place, why you felt like you went through whatever injustice or this unfair situation, or maybe you had to take an L here, or maybe there was a series of unfortunate events that happened. And it's like, why did this have to happen to me? I don't feel like you know right now, this is why it's changing in the new year. You're going to be figuring out that what you thought was actually an injustice, what you thought was an L, right? That you were taking, something just didn't go your way, or you lost out on that, or it was a missed opportunity, you were rejected, you were abandoned. I mean, whatever it was, you're going to find out that this was actually a blessing. Okay. So let's say that you worked really hard on something all year long, And then it was time for you to present this, take the test, get the job, get into the relationship, you know, get the house, move, whatever it was. And then last minute, it's like, bam, it didn't happen. Some of you guys could have been feeling very strongly like this was a travesty, right? Like this was just horrible. Like I can't believe that this happened. It's giving the energy of like hitting rock bottom a little bit, or feeling like this is so unfair. You know, like I don't ask for much. I wanted this one thing and you can't even give me this one thing. That's kind of what this feels like. You're going to be finding out what's changing in the new year. You're going to be finding out why this didn't work out, why this didn't happen. So you didn't get a job. Maybe that's because something better is there for you. You didn't get the person that you wanted. Maybe that's because, you know, there's a different person, one that's more in alignment for you. You know, you didn't get the house that you've been saving up for, or that you were bidding on, or that you were already engaged in the sale of this house. Maybe that's because there were, you know, issues in the foundation that you weren't aware of, or the land was cursed. Who even knows, right? It's like sometimes we have to be thankful for the things that we don't get that we want. Sometimes we have to be grateful for how the rejection that we face, because rejection is protection, right? So spirit can see things sometimes that we can't see. I say this a lot, and this is a vision that they always show me. You know, a baby crawling towards the edge of the pool, and the baby doesn't know any better. The baby thinks, oh, I want to go towards whatever that is. And the parent comes in and swoops the baby away from falling into the pool, where surely it would be disastrous, and puts it back into its playpen. And the baby screams and throws a fit because it's so unfair. I wanted to go into that pool. But the parent knows better. The parent knows the baby can't swim, so you can't go into that pool. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. Something that you wanted that you didn't get, or something that you really, you know, you were hell bent on, or you thought was going to work out. Everything looked like it was going in that direction, or it was happening in that way, and it didn't. Spirit maybe yanked you out of it, or there were circumstances that happened that you couldn't control. Spirit is saying, look, I can see things that you can't see. I can see stuff that is happening that is not good for you, actually. You wouldn't be happy if you got this, actually, okay? So that's kind of the energy I'm getting in. And I feel like if this is talking about the same thing, these two cards, you're going to be feeling less conflicted about this once we find out, oh, well, this is exactly why this didn't take place. All right. So, okay, guys, take it as it resonates. Let's see what else we have here. What's changing in the new year for Gemini gang, please? What's changing in the new year for Gemini gang, please? I'm hearing finding your voice. So some of you guys, yeah, you're going to be finding your voice. You're going to be having the courage to like speak up or something like that. Look at this. We have the canary. That is freaking crazy to me. I'm sorry, guys. The canary says, step forward now, sing your song. There is power in finding your voice. What the heck? I'm sorry, I just don't even know how to process that. Yeah, so you're going to be finding your voice, basically, okay? Spirit is saying that what's changing in the new year is that you're going to be feeling more secure to speak. You're going to be feeling more confident to speak. Maybe some of you guys are going to be singing, or you're going to be doing public speaking, or maybe you're going to be leading meetings. Maybe you're going to be taking charge of a certain situation. But how you express yourself is changing in the new year. That is so crazy that came out as soon as I said that. All right, what else do we have here? I swear, like, the way Spirit works through tarot is amazing to me sometimes. I've been doing tarot for a very long time, and it just never ceases to amaze me. Let's get another one out here. What's changing in the new year for Gemini gang? We have the turkey. Honor your own time of harvest. Offer your gifts and blessings as service to the greater good. Yeah, I'm getting the energy of some of you guys stepping into your purpose in this new year. That's something that's changing. You know, maybe before you weren't really sure what you were supposed to do, or maybe you weren't sure what your path was. You know, you could be somebody who has a lot of different talents, a lot of different skills. You could do a lot of different things if you wanted to, but there's something here where you're going to be grounding that down in this new year and actually stepping onto your path. And I have a feeling it has something to do with your voice, possibly how you're able to, maybe resolve conflict here, maybe how deep you're able to go, or how compassionate you are, or the wisdom that you have. And there's some kind of gift or skill that you have that is a blessing and service to other people. We did see the lighthouse energy, right? So I feel like for a lot of you, you're meant to be healers in your own way. Doesn't mean you have to be up here doing this. Doesn't mean you have to be a counselor or a doctor or any of those things. You're healing in your own way, though, whatever you do. Maybe you make music, Gemini, and your music is very healing. I mean, think about the well and the sounds that they make. Their well calls are supposed to be very healing. I think there was actually like some kind of scientific study done that shows that their sounds actually do heal. So there's something here with that. whatever you do, it's like it's healing. I'm also getting like light language. So some of you guys might get the ability or the gift to speak light language, or maybe you already do, and this is something that's going to be more at the forefront. Okay, so that's coming through here. I'm also getting here, honor your own time of harvest. There will be a harvest. This is what's changing in the new year. Maybe some of you guys have been doing, I'm hearing you work hard for the money. Okay, so some of you guys have been working really hard for your money and you're not gonna have to work so hard. That's for some of you guys. I feel like also if you've been putting in a lot of effort and you haven't been seeing the recognition, the results that you truly deserve, that is changing as well. There's a time of harvest that's coming in. We have on the bottom of the deck, the bluebird. You are being gifted with blessings, happiness, and peace. Okay. Yes. All right. We have the condor. It says, hold the highest vision for your life now. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. So yeah, this is my card of not lowering your standards, right? If you have a vision for yourself, if you have certain expectations for your life and for what you want to achieve, Spirit is saying this is more than possible. Now, of course, the path could change of how you achieve these things for sure, but you should not like give up on your dreams here, is the energy that I'm getting. Hold the highest vision for you and your life. And you can move through any kind of hurdles. So the energy I'm getting here too with all this conflict resolution, and it feels very positive. I feel like in the new year, some changes that you can expect is to be less restricted. We talked about that actually. Less restrictions, less blockages moving forward, okay? We have the pelican. Choose to follow the path of forgiveness and raise your vibration. I'm getting like it's all good. Like the debt's been cleared. That's what I'm getting for somebody. So if there was any, conflict resolution. If there was any kind of, maybe grudges or resentment or bitterness or whatever, it's like, it's good. We're good. You know, like the debt has been cleared. Somebody might feel that way too in regards to you, Gemini. Like they might be worried that you're upset with them still, or that you're holding some kind of bitter grudge or whatever. And I don't feel like you are. I mean, I could be wrong, right? But the ones that I'm picking up on, if this resonates for you, I feel like you've let something go, or you're not angry, you're not upset anymore. And it's like the debt's cleared. You don't owe me anything. We're square, basically, is what I'm getting. You know, like I let you go with love and light. Fly away, right? That's the kind of energy I'm getting for somebody. Like I'm not, you know, yeah, because I feel like maybe in 2025, like, you know, you were holding on to something and there was maybe some resentment or bitterness or whatever, but something shifts, you know, and it's like, maybe because you start to see how everything has worked out. Like this was all meant to happen. It was all meant to take place, you know? Sometimes when things happen that we don't like, we can hold on to that because we feel like it's unfair. But when we start to see that, oh, this isn't unfair. This is exactly how it was supposed to happen. And actually it's kind of a blessing that it worked out this way. Well, it can, you know, take some of the spice out of our noodle. That's for sure. So I feel like there's something here with that, Gemini. Like you're not holding a grudge against people or somebody or situations. Like you've let something go. I also get the energy with the well, like there's a big heart awakening that's happening, guys. Okay. And you know, when you have a big heart, when your heart chakra is open, the forgiveness vibration and the love vibration goes hand in hand. Like there's some kind of unconditional love that you're learning here. And this doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, unconditional in the aspect of I let you come back here and abuse me constantly or, you know, hurt me or whatever, but unconditional love in the aspect of like, I see that you are a human that's flawed and has your own journey, your own path, your own trauma that you're dealing with, and I can love you from a distance, right? Like I can see that, you know, it's okay, basically. Like, I'm not going to take what you've done to me personally anymore. I'm going to look at it as something that you were dealing with or something that you are dealing with, and it's okay. That's what I'm getting, guys. Okay. Obviously that's not for everybody. And obviously there's some things that are unforgivable in life. I get it, you know? But this doesn't feel like this is what we're talking about here. What else do we have? Let's get one more for what's changing for Gemini gang in the new year. We have the parrot. Okay, it says let go of others' thoughts and opinions. It's time to embrace who you really are. Yeah, I feel like you are not really worried about other people's thoughts and opinions in the new year. There's something that's shifting here. Okay, I love how these birds have matched up too. What? Okay, we have this one looking off, this one looking off, and these two looking at each other. Like that's crazy to me. But anyways, yeah, I feel like maybe And before I say this, because I know I'm going to get the comments, oh, Geminis don't really care about other people's thoughts and opinions. Well, not every Gemini is the same, first of all, right? And second of all, if there's tradition, if there's community standards, if there's, family, it's not always easy to just go off and do whatever you want and not worry about how it affects other people, right? So there's something here with that, where maybe you were living your life based off of what other people wanted. Maybe you were making moves based off of how other people were going to perceive something. Let's use a marriage for an example. Maybe you are married and you've been married for a while, and maybe this marriage is horrible and it's unhappy and it's cold, right? But you've been married for so long and you're such a prominent staple in the community that if you were to break apart from this person, everybody gonna take it fucking personally, like it's their marriage that's breaking apart. It's not so easy when you have these expectations and pressures on you, so congratulations for the people who don't really give a fuck and are willing to do whatever regardless of how other people feel and think, but that's just not everybody's story. Okay, and so I feel like there's something here where what's shifting in the new year is that we're not thinking about that anymore. We're not caring about that anymore. Okay, and for those of you where that really resonated with the being in a situation where people have so many expectations on you and they're really, hooked into this outcome and this result, this relationship, this job, this belief, this religion, this lifestyle that you're living, that you want to live something differently, you might be gathering the strength and the courage to do this. To go ahead and transition out of this marriage, or to leave this community, or leave this religion, or leave this place of work, or say, no, I'm not going to do this, or come out in some kind of way. Maybe you're same sex and you haven't come out to anybody about that. Maybe you are wanting to move and you're afraid of how people will think, just depends on your own personal situation. But this is what I'm feeling here, because there's power in finding your voice, right? And you're being asked not to lower your standards. You're being asked to walk away from a conflicted, constrictive situation here. And Spirit is saying what you feel like might be a disaster is actually a blessing. So there could be something here where we're going to follow our heart here with the Well, or we're going to do what feels right for us and be damned what everybody else thinks. That's truly their problem. Which again is easier said than done. Okay. Let's get some feelings out for you guys, since we're talking about feelings so much, and since you're going to be in your feels so much with the Well. Just kidding. Let's find out. Let's get some emotions that you're going to be feeling in the new year. Okay. And this is not just the first part of the new year. This is just the new year in 2026. So, look, we have forgive. Yeah, I get this big energy of like letting it go, like we're good. So you could even have somebody in the new year come up to you and say that they want to apologize, or just be like, hey, I wanted to let you know. And you might, let them speak their piece, of course. That's polite to let people say what they got to say. But then you might just be like, look, it's good. We're good. I understand you did what you did for why you did it, and it's whatever, and I do appreciate you apologizing to me, but I don't hold any ill feelings towards you, So there could be something like that. I also feel like there's a forgiveness of yourself coming through here for some of you guys who maybe have been holding on to some kind of guilt, because maybe you did what you felt like you had to do, but it was hurtful to other people, or maybe you did do things that were very selfish, and so maybe there's guilt here surrounding that. There's just an element of forgiveness that's taking place here. I also feel like there's an element of forgiveness in regards to circumstance, Gemini, in this new year. That's what's changing. We're not going to be like looking back with regret, like, oh man, if only I would have made this decision. If only I would have done this instead. If only I could have done, it's like, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, hun. Okay. And I don't drink. So let's just chill, basically. We can't go back. We can't change the past. All we can do is move forward and make better decisions. If you don't want to live in regret because you miss opportunities, because you don't take chances, well, then start taking more chances, right? It's really as simple as that. We have slow down. Okay. Yeah. I feel like in the new year, what's changing here is you possibly are going to be slowing down. I get the energy that 2025 was very fast paced. Like things were coming and going just like that, right? Days were flying by. Maybe you were working a lot, building a lot, doing a lot. And it's like, I didn't have time to hardly even stop and just, maybe one success after another, or one thing after another. I'm getting the energy of somebody who like, they get a success, they throw it into the pile. They get a success, they throw it in the pile. They don't even have time to stop and like relish in what they've just succeeded in, right? It's just like, we got to be on to the next. Maybe that's how your 2025 has been. 2026 is going to be a little bit slower. You're going to have time to actually stop and savor the victories or savor the moment. There's going to be more leisurely time, maybe more naps, maybe more relaxation, more self-care. We did see that with the Well, to bring into balance self-care. Okay, so maybe there's going to be more of that. I also love these little yin yang kitties. Aren't they just so damn cute? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's get some more out here. What feelings are coming through? We have love. Okay, and we have joy. Some of you guys, what could be changing? You might be finding some love. You know, don't get your panties in a twist. Not trying to get anybody, you know, feeling some type of way or their hopes up or anything like that. Love has been in the collective energy recently so strongly. It's so weird, like, you know, but love has just been around. So maybe, you know, love is coming through for some of you guys. Maybe you're going to find somebody you can slow down with in this crazy life, you know, and just cuddle and enjoy each other. That's for somebody. But I also feel like just love overall, like, again, because I feel a huge heart awakening. Sorry, hate to be the bearer of bad news. For those of you that are like, I don't want to feel, there could be something like that going on where it's like, yeah, love. And I did say there was a sense of unconditional love. So that could be what's changing. You're just feeling more love for just life and yourself and others and situations, more compassion. I'm hearing missionary work too. So for some of you guys, you could be doing some sense of missionary work, even if it's not through Christianity. It could be just going out and doing good deeds, you know, volunteering, helping out the local food banks and, you know, maybe at the animal shelter or whatever, but just doing things to raise the vibration of the planet. But that's what's changing in the new year. We're going to be feeling more love. I also feel like somebody's going to be making you blush. I ain't going to lie, Gemini, okay? The way I'm looking at these rosy cheeks is just making me feel like somebody's going to be making you blush in the new year. Okay? Okay. Let's get one more feeling for this new year. Well, it wouldn't be life without anxiety, right? But I do feel like this anxiety could be slowing down. Like for some of you guys who are very anxious, yeah, I feel like this is, you know, there's something about this where you're going to be feeling less anxious. It's interesting because there's a card in here that talks about the unknowing, you know, going into the unknown, and it's the same kind of picture. It just doesn't have this scribbled out energy. I feel like what's changing in the new year is you're feeling less anxious about the things that you don't have answers to. Some of you guys could have been the type to be like, well, I just need to know. I just want to know why. I just got to know why, you know, why is something happening? Why is this going on? And like, that's going to make you suddenly feel more comfortable, right? I feel like some of you guys have surrendered and you're starting to be okay with not knowing. You're being okay with not having all the answers or not having the clear path carved out for you. It's kind of just like, it is what it is, right? That kind of feeling. Resentment's in reverse too. Maybe some of you guys, again, there could have been some anxiety. Either you or another person was having anxiety over somebody holding resentments against them. I feel like what's going to be discovered is that there are no resentments. There's possibly just love, you know? Take it as it resonates though, you know, because obviously this is a general message. This is not a case-by-case situation. If you want a personal reading, you can always reach out to me and we'll give you one. We can definitely look into personally what's happening, what's changing for you in the new year, for sure. But, you know, on a general level, that's what this is. I feel like somebody's going to find out that somebody is not holding resentments and their anxiety can cease now. Because I get the energy of somebody not wanting somebody to hold resentments or not wanting somebody to feel bad. Like, Gemini, maybe somebody doesn't want you to be mad at them. Or you don't want them to be, I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying right now. It reminds me of that freaking meme of that little boy. He's like, I and they went dark, went weak. Don't even know what I'm saying. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say, okay? It feels like there's like no resentments. Like I said, we're square. We're good. All right. Let's keep it moving, guys. What's changing in the new year? Okay, what's changing in the new year? I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, what's changing in the new year? What is changing in the new year for Gemini gang? What's changing? Oh, that's gonna be way too many for me. Sorry. What's changing in the new year for Gemini gang? Oh, well, there you go. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry, that was a couple cards that flew out. I don't want to take a couple at a time. I want just one at a time, please, Spirit. What's changing in the new year for Gemini gang? What is changing here for Gemini? What is changing? Oh, okay. This is interesting because this came out with a big chunk before, this locked card. And it's come out again, so I'm actually going to take it. I'm actually going to mention this card, but I'm going to keep this one out. Okay, just follow my intuition here, guys. So the locked, Okay, I obviously wanted to be seen in this reading. It says, work you want may not be in reach now. You can take a temp position while awaiting an opening. Your new place offers job security. So I feel like what's changing is something that was locked, something that was kept away, especially in regards to your career or your finances, is changing. Okay, this is not going to be locked to you anymore, because again, this is what's changing. So that's what I'm getting, guys. Maybe you wanted something, or maybe something you felt like it wasn't in reach. You know, we have a key and a lock here. Maybe you wanted to buy a house, or maybe you wanted to buy a car, or you wanted a certain position, or you wanted to maybe own your own business or something. It feels like you were working really hard for something. And again, we saw that with the Goddess of Justice. It felt like something didn't work out for you in 2025, or that, you know, there was a lot of restrictions or something. This is being lifted here. It's really interesting too, because it has outside forces that came out with it. And it did come out in that chunk too. I noticed it before. It says, unknown figures are driving a situation and you may not be able to control the outcome. This cycle will shift soon and you will be okay. So that's exactly, I'm actually going to keep both of these as one card, because that's exactly the energy that I was getting. I feel like something that was locked is going to be unlocked. Something that was blocked or restricted is going to be lifted here. And maybe there were some kind of outside forces that were causing issues, you know? Maybe something that you couldn't see with the moon. Something was cloaked and it was causing a disruption, or there was negative influences or something here, right? Something that you weren't aware of behind the scenes. But this is changing in the new year. We have the door to opportunity on the bottom of the deck. Doors are opening up for you. You have the chance to change jobs, start a business, or invest in a new venture. Just do it. Yeah, so I feel like that's the change that's coming through. Where you didn't see any opportunity, or you were feeling like, okay, well, this is all I can do right now. I'm kind of in this little niche, or I'm stuck here. That's absolutely shifting for you in this new year. And maybe there were outside forces. We do see the parrot over here talking about others' thoughts and opinions. So maybe there are other people that were like kind of pulling the strings here in a situation and causing issues. This is changing. Interesting. Okay. What else do we have here? What's changing in the new year for Gemini gang, please? What's changing? What is this? We have adventure. You make exciting work moves that could take you outdoors or on a trip. You will need to climb steadily to reach your financial goals. So yeah, there could be more adventure in this new year, more joy, more happiness. I feel like some of you guys are going to be having experiences like this. Like you might go on camping trips or hiking trips, or, you know, go to far off lands or whatever and see things that your eyes have never seen before. There could also be solo trips. Be careful, male or female. It don't matter if you're traveling alone, just be careful. Okay. But I do feel like there could be solo trips or something like that happening here. I also feel like you're going to be making really exciting work moves, because again, it feels like something was, maybe it wasn't bad in 2025. It could have been incredibly stable, you know, in 2025, but it's feeling like it was just like, right? That's what it's feeling like. And it feels like in 2026, we're going to start seeing some spikes, right? Like there's energy here of change or momentum that's taking place, and you possibly having exciting new opportunities coming in that are going to lead to new things. So you could have people wanting to work with you. You could have job offers coming through. Maybe you're going to be given new responsibilities. Maybe you're going to be doing a little bit of travel for work. If you own your own business, or you're like entrepreneur, or you do freelance, or maybe you work on social media or something, there could be somebody who's going to offer you something and it's going to open up a whole new world for you. Look, the door to opportunity is still on the bottom of the deck. And it's interesting too, because it says, or invest in a new venture, and this is adventure, right? So there's something there, like there's new ventures that are coming in the new year. Okay, let's get one more for Gemini gang. What's changing in this new year here? We have manifesting. You have the power to manifest what you want by writing your intentions down and by taking inspired action to make it happen. That's so interesting, guys, because manifestation has been coming through lately in the readings. And I feel like this is a power that Spirit is trying to get you to unlock right now, to see that your own power of manifestation, like you can create your reality, you can create your dreams, right? So there is this energy of what's changing in the new year is you're going to start seeing your own power to manifest. You could even see manifestations that you were working on in 2025 happen in 2026. Okay. Some of you, if you have a vision board, or if you script, or maybe you, I don't know how you would manifest, however you manifest, right? It's like you're going to see, oh, wow, I was working on that for a good part of 2025. And then bam, it happened in 2026. Some of you guys are going to get a manifestation that's going to be so accurate that it's going to be like, you're going to be shook as the energy I'm getting, like it's groundbreaking. So this could be you manifesting like a house. Let's use that for example. Like you manifest a house and you have been very specific in your manifestations, right down to like the lot size, the position of the lot. Like say you want a corner lot, or maybe you want some acreage, right? Like you want some land or something, the color of the house, the number of bedrooms, how the kitchen is set up, you know, certain features that are just so specific to this house. And it's like you find this house and you're like, oh my gosh, there's something like that. This could even be a person, because we do got a lot of love energy out here. Some of you guys might be manifesting a very specific type of individual. You know, their attributes, their traits, maybe even how they look. I don't know, but there's something here where it's like it's very specific what you're manifesting, and it comes through in that way. We have renewal on the bottom of the deck. You need to take time to recharge your energy and get back on the right track. Challenges ahead may require you to have faith and break through. That's so interesting considering we have the slow down emotion, right? So what's changing in the new year is that you are going to be recharging a little bit more. You are going to be having some time to just rest. You know, I notice that when I, sorry, I was wondering if this delivery guy was coming here, but he's not. I noticed that when I'm about to have like a really busy period in work, or there's something that's about to happen in my life that maybe I'm not aware of, or maybe I am aware of it, Spirit will always give me some kind of rest period beforehand, like against my will almost, you know, like business will slow down, or, you know, I'll just feel really tired suddenly and I won't feel like working. Or even sometimes Spirit will like scramble my intuition to where I don't feel confident in doing readings. So I'll like take a moment. And that's usually again, because there's something that I'm going to need my strength and my energy forward, moving forward. Okay. So I feel like that's something that's taking place here. Maybe 2026 is going to be an energy of recharging and getting yourself back to like, you know, our highest vibrating energy, or our highest energy levels, or something like that, because maybe in 2027 things are really going to take off. I mean, I don't know, guys. Okay. I'm just pulling cards over here. Let's get some color mage. This might be the last deck. Okay. What is going to be changing in 2025, or excuse me, in 2026, in the new year? What's changing? We have card number 90, Blush, A Cheerful Love. Gemini. I don't know. Okay. We have Courageous Sexuality, Pink Gazi with card number 14, and then poking out, we have card 44, Cotton Candy, Make a Wish. Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. For some of you guys, there could be some love coming your way, guys, and this isn't just, yeah, okay, Sade coming through, no ordinary love. This is not no ordinary love. It's giving the energy here of something that you've really wished for. Some of you who have been celibate, prepare yourself. That's all I'm gonna say for that, is prepare yourself. With the Courageous Sexuality, some of you guys might be shocked at how brazen you are, how much you open up to somebody. You might be like, oh wow, okay. I wasn't expecting to open up like that, but I did. Maybe clear, literally or figuratively. Anyways, guys, let's move on. Okay, there's something here with that, for sure. Yeah, invoke the guardian. Some of you guys might feel like somebody is heaven sent. Didn't I say? It literally just hit me, guys. And I know for some of you guys are like, is she gonna notice it? Yes. Remember I said the love with the blush? Somebody's gonna make you blush, and then blush came out. There have been so many weird, freaky synchronicities in this reading that it's kind of like strange to me. But yeah, some of you guys, you might be blushing. Somebody might be making you blush. Okay. We have card 68, Mauve, Emotional Flexibility. Yeah, I feel like there's emotions that are opening up here. That's what's changing in this new year. You're going to be more emotionally flexible. Some of you guys might have been like shut down. Like you were like, you know, and you might have, hey, some of you might have felt like you missed out on some good opportunities too, because you just weren't willing to open up. You know, maybe 2025 was not your year to do that or something. It feels like in 2026, you're going to allow yourself to be more emotional, or more emotionally flexible. Like, I'm going to allow myself to open up. I'm going to allow myself to feel things. I'm going to allow myself to invest or to give in connections. Okay. That's for somebody out there. Yeah, we have disease, stress, and negativity, card number 97 on the bottom of the deck. It feels like before maybe you weren't willing to be emotionally flexible, and this was causing stress or negativity, or this caused some kind of negative situation to occur. But I feel like that's changing in the new year. I keep hearing that damn song. What is it? Is it from the Spandau ballad or whatever? Ha, 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 I know this much is true. Okay? I keep hearing that song. I love that song. I listen to that song way more than I like to admit. It's one of my favorite songs in the whole world, but I don't know why I keep hearing it though. All right, what else do we have here? What's changing? We have card number 54, the Maggie, reconciling differences. You know, there was that element of forgiveness. There's something here. The reading's starting to get redundant, so this is going to be the last deck. You know how I feel about that. But there is something here where you are going to be reconciling some differences, either within yourself, within a situation, or within a person. And I feel like there's going to be this energy again of like, we're good. I'm not holding any negative energy towards you. Like, I worked through that. I let that go. Yeah. Grapefruit, generous energy. I feel like somebody's going to be shocked that you're more generous than what they were thinking, or that they're more generous than what you were thinking. I feel like there's going to be some kind of surprise that somebody's not holding a grudge. That is just coming through for sure. I also feel like the reconciling differences with what you're doing within your life. Like, some of you guys are going to start reconciling the fact that maybe you have been living your life for other people. Maybe you have been living your life with other people at the forefront of what will make them comfortable or what will make them happy. And, you know, there could be a little bit of like shame when you acknowledge finally that is what you've been doing. You haven't been living your life for yourself. But that's okay, because the moment that we acknowledge that there's an issue, we can start to fix it. And I feel like that's what's taking place here. Okay, any other messages before we end this reading, Spirit? What's changing for Gemini gang in this new year? We have card 108, Tincture, Find the Cure. Okay, so for some of you guys who are suffering through some kind of illness, or something, or maybe a chronic condition or something like that, you're going to be finding the cure. For some of you, there is something like that. It's like reminding me of my son when he had, you know, the really bad psoriasis, and I was like at my wit's end because the poor boy was getting sores all over his body. Like, it was horrible. And then we went gluten-free, and it's like a miracle occurred. Like, he hasn't gotten any new psoriasis outbreaks since we started going gluten-free, and all of his old sores are like healed, and it's like he's back to, you know, like normal. It's crazy. It's like a miracle occurred, you know, but it was that change that we needed. That was the cure, to go gluten-free. So for some of you, there could be something like that that's taking place here, you know, where you're going to find the cure to something. Maybe Spirit's been trying to lead you there with Spirit on the bottom of the deck, card number 91, the Hero's Journey. There's definitely resolving something here in the new year, for sure, okay? Okay, let's get one more. Oh, wait. That's too many for me. One more, please, for Gemini. What's changing in this new year? One more. Again. One more. Okay. What is this? Oh, it's Pink Ghazi coming back out. Card number 14. Courageous Sexuality. Yeah. What's changing is you might be a little sexual in the new year. Maybe you weren't, you know? Listen, guys. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys, that has been your reading. I do hope that it helps, hope it resonates, hope it does something. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.